All right.
This one's good.
So good morning, everybody. I know I haven't done one of these in a little while, but like I said, I have been pretty busy, so I haven't stopped. You know, I do these still privately, and I don't post everything because sometimes I just might do a 2-minute session or a 3-minute session. Remember last week when I posted my video, I was talking about the girl at the park who committed suicide by hanging, and I wanted to go back there and see if I could contact her. Well, 2 nights ago I was sitting at home. It was probably about 1 a.m. and I was at my computer. It was quiet, the dogs were even upstairs, and I was just laying there and I was kind of dozing off, and all of a sudden in my mind I saw like a girl, a woman. I don't know what it was. It was just like I could sense somebody was in the room and they were walking up to me or around me, and I could see it in my mind, but it was kind of blurry, but I could tell that it was a woman. And she was standing right next to me, walked up to me, and it kind of scared me, it startled me, so I woke up and it was all gone, and I tried to get that back and I couldn't do it. So that was really interesting, and I was just wondering if it was her, because when we were at that park, she was talking, but it was so windy and it was so cold, couldn't be comfortable, we couldn't get anything out of it, so we left, but I knew that she had something to say. So I'm wondering if that was her or if it was my spirit guide. I don't know which it was. Like I said, it was blurry. I couldn't see who it was or what it was, but I knew it was a woman. I could sense it was a woman. So that was kind of cool. That's only ever happened to me one time before. And when I was a kid, you know, there was a girl that passed away. She was in my class and she sat behind me, and we were friends, and she ended up having a pretty bad sickness and she died. And the day before school, before we even went to school and found out that she passed away and she wasn't going to be with us anymore, she came to me and stood at the end of my bed and said goodbye to me, and I knew it was her. So when I got into school, you know, I was only in kindergarten, first grade, maybe first grade, first or second grade. And I knew she was gone, she wasn't in the chair, and shortly after that, we got the announcement saying that she had passed. So that's the only other time that I've ever really been visited that I can remember. And I've lost my Zoom recorder.
I'll tell you.
I don't know where it is. It's making me nuts. I've looked everywhere. I don't think that I left it anywhere. But spirits, do you know where my Zoom recorder is? Has anybody seen my recorder?
Fire had been absolutely.
It's not the first time any of my equipment's gone missing. It won't be the last, I'm sure, but I really like the Zoom recorder. It's high quality audio, and I know that camera doesn't produce high quality audio. And I know this really doesn't produce high quality audio. It's not bad, but this is a new recorder, and it's supposed to pick up EVPs pretty good. So if anything comes out, it'll be from this. But the overall audio, I don't think it's going to be too terrific. It's an old unit. It's probably 20, 25 years old. So I wanted to do a session and talk about the Main Street Bridge that collapsed
The kids do instinctively, and it's
in the 1800s. My printer is also not working, so I can't print the pictures off, but I wanted to briefly talk about it so that when I do go around town and show you the landmarks and try to do a couple sessions, live sessions, you guys are kind of familiar with what this town is and, you know,
him a toy.
the places and the things that have happened here, so when I briefly talk about it, you'll remember from the sessions. But on Main Street, we had a bridge that was built in, oh man, early 1800s, and they're talking about, I'll show you the picture and I'll link it, but in 1859, they were celebrating the opening day of the bridge, and it was a swing bridge, which is, it's now a lift bridge, but it was a swing bridge back in the day, and they had hundreds of people. They had hundreds of people at this opening for the bridge, and they had a and they had a tightrope walker. Say that 5 times fast. And he was supposed to go across the canal, starting out from one of the buildings. So they had all these people on the brand new bridge, hundreds of them, and the guy started walking across the bridge, across the water, and all the weight, the bridge started creaking and it collapsed, and it was a mess, and a lot of people died. Although the bridge isn't that wide and it's not that deep at only maybe 15 feet, all that heavy steel, man, and it collapsing with all those people on there, it killed a lot of people. When I was walking to the canal and talking to Doug, I remember him saying something about saving the girl or helping the kids. So I'm wondering if Doug was there the day of the collapse of the bridge, because that's about the quarter-mile area where it all happened. And I'm wondering if Doug from the bridge is one of the people who helped maybe save somebody from that day. Does anybody, hi Jasper, does anybody know if Doug helped somebody from dying that day? Now I would ask Doug, but I don't think Doug's allowed here. I don't think that they allow him here, for whatever reason. But we can go on the canal and ask him that. So yeah, the guy who was doing the tightrope walking, he stepped out of the second-story window. He began his slow journey across the canal. It was not soon after that that the bridge began to groan, scrape, and under the weight of a massive crowd, within a matter of moments, the western side of the bridge gave way, dumping bodies into the water. Those who were physically unable to swim to shore when they were pulled from the water by onlookers died. Others found themselves trapped under the debris and dragged underwater by their soaked clothing. It's a long article. It says a lot, but in a nutshell, that's what happened. Later, it was repaired, and the swing bridge was later installed in 1871 again. Although the swing bridge faithfully served boat traffic along the canal, the superintendent of the canal recommended as early as 1885 that the bridge be replaced with a lift apparatus to increase traffic and efficiency between Buffalo and Rochester, New York. So the photo that I'll show you was taken on December 10th, 1912. And that's about it.
Plastic linoleum.
I'm trying to find a number of the death toll. So that whole area right here in the middle of town where the bridge goes across Main Street, that was devastation. So that explains why it's so active right over there when I walk around that area. It was 2 deaths per mile on that bridge with them building it, and then with that event and the collapse of the bridge, I think there's a lot of negative energy around there. A lot of sad energy. Do you guys remember the collapse of the bridge?
What the heck you do with the pin?
Who's here with me right now?
You know.
Do you guys remember the collapse of the bridge? Did you know anybody? I know it's a little bit before your time, but I'm sure that you were born around that area. Did you know anybody that died on the bridge? Do you remember when they rebuilt the bridge? Were you around for that? Jasper, what year did you come to Albion?
People, years ago, and then call them.
How about you, Lewis? What year did you come to Albion? Were you born here?
So you know.
Jasper, were you born in Albion? Yeah, I heard yeah, man. What was your last name, Jasper? Smith. Do you have family here now, Jasper? Mm-hmm, I heard him. Lewis, do you have family here right now? Do I know any of your family?
Well, it is.
You know, I've never thought to ask that.
And we are heading for a ditch, you know. What do you think Shepherd's?
Could you give me your last name one more time? If I know your family, I would gladly ask them to come here and try to connect with you, if you want that. Do either one of you have an interest in that? I hear the lady in there. She's come through a couple times now, and I remember the last time she said that she was mesmerized watching the sessions. So I think she's now sticking around, because I've heard her the past couple times. Miss, what's your name?
No reason. You'll see for yourself.
Who's the lady that likes watching the sessions?
Picture of that business, of course. I don't know to do it.
I heard her in there while I was talking, but I don't hear her responding now.
Around in front of me.
She'll warm up. You wait and see.
Anyhow, why should I confuse you?
Okay, I have one more question. And this is for Roberta. You guys remember Roberta?
In an army.
Roberta wants me to ask about a person named the Butcher. Are you guys familiar with anybody named the Butcher?
Fat-eyed, but good-looking girl. And then
The Butcher could have been somebody you know. He could have been a rival.
you're in church, like,
Good or bad, I don't know.
you're gonna carry the wild.
Can you tell me anything about the Butcher?
Sitting in that book. This was, that's what you.
I mean, you hear a lot of, I've slowed it down just a little bit, so you're hearing a lot of that live feed that's coming through, a little slower, so I'm going to try to pick out any relevancy when it comes through, but there's a lot of talk in there that probably doesn't pertain, or there's nothing that I can really use because it's so slow.
Which meant they.
You know, and it's so frequent. I really have to listen and try to separate that from the session.
All the rest of the
Nothing's
guys
ever
were down
100%.
here in the.
So the weather still hasn't really broke. It's a little better today. It snowed yesterday. It sucks, but I don't. You can't even listen to the weatherman. But I don't really remember April ever being a good month for anybody. It's just you're done with winter and you want it to move on, you know? Hey, Jasper. Jasper, what's your last name?
In what they call
Yeah, man.
My name is Gracie.
I think Jasper hangs out with me a lot. More than I probably realize, and that's fine. I think he probably hangs out with me more than my spirit guide. He comes through a lot. He came through at the Virgin House yesterday, and that's a half an hour away. Whether he's here coming through or he's following me around, I don't know, but he comes through a lot on everything that I do. And I think Lewis, you're the resident here, right? I don't think Lewis goes out a lot, do you? Lewis might follow me around, I don't know. I don't hear him a lot, though. But anyway, I like my spirits. They're awesome.
I doubt it.
Maybe when it's my turn to go, I'll meet them. Who knows?
Come on, hurry up.
Alright, that's it, you guys. I gotta get to work. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for coming through, okay?
Its proximity is...
It's a cool little box, man. You take this along with you when you're doing walk-around sessions. And then you don't have to worry about it if you hit it on something or you bang it or you drop it or you break it. You can just get another one. It's great for that. It's really light. All right. Thank you, guys. Goodbye.
And then...
Thank you, guys. Goodbye.
What do you